Hi, I'm Ara Kanikian, Visual Effects Supervisor on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings for Rodeo FX. Today I wanted to spend a couple of minutes with you guys and go through the work we did on Shang-Chi, notably the bamboo scaffoldings, as well as the fight with Death Dealer. The skyscraper onto which this action takes place is obviously a completely CG build. On set, what production had decided to do, which was fantastic, was building a partial set that was, I believe, 3 stories high, where all the choreography was taking place. One of the main challenges we had when we were integrating those elements and creating the final composites was once we rotoscoped everything out of these plates and then started match moving them and doing the layouts, as we were getting into the bamboo scaffolding set extensions, this is where we started seeing that a lot of the fight scenes, since there were actual choreographies with people actually fighting on bamboo scaffoldings, everything was warping and bending. So Match Move had a big challenge of making sure all of our set extensions were really locked with the ones on set, and I thought the result was fantastic. Some of the things that we added as well was modifying and moving around the planks to always create a sense of danger, so that on set for safety sometimes we would have 2 or 3 planks next to each other so people can walk and run and jump on them and fall on them. But in a big action movie like this, it's always fun to add a little bit more danger to it. So this is where we start removing some planks and moving some and spreading them apart so that when they're running, we're seeing through planks and we're seeing the height of the action to give that little bit of vertigo effect. Throughout the sequence, what happens as well is that there's a lot of cool explosions, glass breaking everywhere, explosion coming up. You have the 49er soldiers with their hooked swords with the little blue electric arc. Anytime they hit something, glass shatters, it creates some little electrical arcing. So we had a lot of fun with all the effects aspect of our work. We got into a lot of the digi takeovers as well for some characters. During some of these stunt works, we would transition from plate to digi doubles and then create some additional choreographies of either digi doubles falling to their deaths, sometimes doing stunts that were just different enough or dangerous enough that we had to just modify enough the choreography or the timings that it was easier to switch to CG versions. One of the first shots where we see the 49er jump down the window, do a big flip and try to kick Shang-Chi. That element was actually shot, but in order to create the camera to tie it all together and create a very locked timing and choreography, we opted for a CG version of that soldier, and then we transitioned back to the real one as the action continues. Same thing with Katie, as Katie is hanging on to her life on the piece of bamboo that's starting to break apart, and she's about to fall down from about 35 or 40 stories. There are some shots where as the bamboo starts breaking, and then we're switched to a completely digital Katie, where we had a lot of fun simming her hair and her clothing and the bamboo breaking with the dust hits, and then Shang-Chi miraculously grabs her at the last minute. And just as we thought this sequence would be over, Death Dealer comes in, steals the pendant, and Shang-Chi goes after him. They run across the building to another facade, and then a big fight ensues. So this is where we introduce another view of Macau. It's basically the same Macau, but now we have this giant building with a huge pink billboard with a funny, cool dog that's animated on it. One of the greatest aspects of that fight between Shang-Chi and Death Dealer was really the choreography, as well as the framing and the type of cinematography that came out of it. Having those 2 silhouettes, very black and against this very bright, colorful pink billboard, was something that was gorgeous to look at on a daily basis. We had a blast working with visual effects supervisor Chris Townsend, as well as additional VFX supervisor Joe Farrell on these sequences. We spent a lot of time with Joe just talking about these sequences on a daily basis, as well as with Chris. Collaboration was fantastic on the show. The whole team had a blast working on this sequence, and I hope it shows for you guys because we had a lot of fun working on it. Well, hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.